After President Preckwinkle's letter to you, what have your conversations?
Which, by the way, I got after she talked to one of your reporters.
Yeah. What have those conversations been like? Have you sat down
With President Preckwinkle?
Yes.
Zero.
You haven't, no conversations?
Nope.
Have you reached out to her?
Nope.
Has she reached out to you?
Not that I recall. I think there have been some, I hesitate to call them communications, but there have been some conversation at the staff level. But I have had conversations with the chief judge, the presiding judge, Sheriff Dart. I want to get something done.
Can you speak to the chief judge's statistics that he says show that that is not happening and that people are not committing crimes, violent crimes with guns while out on bond?
I see a different set of data that tells a different story. And what I know...
What's wrong with this data?
I don't know. We have to analyze it, and we will do that. He showed me, just had a conversation the other day, and he presented some statistics to me that show that the people who are reoffending are at a very, very small percentage. But I don't know that that tells a whole story, in part because, unfortunately, we know that people aren't getting caught. So to base your statistics on arrest alone, when arrests we know are a very imperfect barometer of what's actually happening, because the clearance rate, meaning the arrest rate, is low relative to what's actually happening, I don't think that that tells the whole story. And it also, again, doesn't address the issue, that the point that I was making earlier, which is, if I know that Susie's a shooter and she gets arrested for possessing a gun, maybe not even shooting, but just possessing a gun, and I breathe this sigh of relief that, thank God, Susie's not my neighbor anymore. And then I go to bed one night and wake up the next day and I see Susie walking brazenly down the street again a few days later. That doesn't give me any comfort that the criminal justice system sees or hears me as somebody who is a victim.
And Tim Evans would say that the statistics show that judges are giving far more no bonds to people on gun charges than ever before.
Well, what I also know is that if you look at the number of people that are out on electronic monitoring, one, there are people who are charged with murder, aggravated battery with a firearm, that are out on EM, electronic monitoring, which I don't understand why that's a thing. And what I also know, first of all, there's two systems of EM, which make no sense to me. But what I also know is that the resources to actually watch the people on electronic monitoring are really limited. And he would be the first to acknowledge that.
Back to the Preckwinkle thing, you guys haven't spoken. Obviously, she started this whole problem by breaking it into the media first before speaking with you. But I guess why not reach out to her, since you have one data set, she seems to have another,
well,
and there's discrepancy?
Let me be clear. I have said, Madam President, Chief Judge, Sheriff, State's Attorney, let's get together, let's put our data out for the public to be able to see it, and let's work together towards solutions. And what I got back was not a, yeah, that's a great idea. I got back another nastygram from her. So other people that are part of this ecosystem have reached out and said, let's have a conversation. And I commend the Chief Judge and the presiding judge and Sheriff Dart and State's Attorney Kim Fox, because I think all of us can actually, and also Clerk Brown, all of us, I think, can make some progress, and we will make progress.
So I guess the larger concern I would have is that, is this relationship between you and Toni Preckwinkle going to make it detract from your abilities to work together on other issues? I mean, we're talking about a woman who's a very important person in the Democratic political party here, and you need you need everybody you've got on your team down in Springfield. Is there an issue here that we should be concerned that you and Toni Preckwinkle are estranged politically?
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to impede the city's ability to get done what we need to get done, wherever that is.
You don't think it would help to have the Cook County Board President?
Well, that's not the question you ask.
Well, I'm asking that now. Would it help to have the Cook County Board
course.
President sitting in your office, working with you to get something done in
Or
Springfield?
me sitting in her office, of course. We have overlapping jurisdictions. We have multiple things that are of concern to residents in this county. Of course, having a good, strong, productive relationship would absolutely inure to the benefit of people
Can you get there?
in this city, in this county. I'm sorry?
Can you get there?
A lot of that is up to her. I sat down with her during the transition, before the inauguration, as an effort of good faith to try to start to build that relationship. Actually, a week before, she sat down and provided a letter to the public before she talked to me. We actually had a meeting in my conference room where her and her chief of staff and her team came. We outlined a number of ways in which I thought we could work together productively on things that are important to both the city and the county. But some things are clearly more important to her than others.